Hello there. So I get a lot of people who ask me about snowmobile pricing and specifically whether it's better to rent or to buy a snowmobile. First off, let's consider the option of buying a snowmobile. Now, assuming that you want top of the line 800, if you were to go out and buy a brand new 800, it's going to cost you about $10,000, between $8,000 and $13,000, but just to make the math easy, we'll say about $10,000. And that sled will last you for about 3 to 6 years. After about 4 or 5 years, you're going to find that there's a lot of better equipment out there and you're going to want to go buy another one, but it'll still last you. I mean, 5 years is about right. Plus, on top of the snowmobile, you also have to have a vehicle that can pull it, probably a pickup. So if you don't have a pickup, you're going to have to figure out extra cost for the pickup, but assuming that you have a pickup or a SUV with a good enough engine that can pull it, that might not be an added cost. Something to look at. The other thing that you will need though is a trailer. Now at minimum you need a flatbed trailer. Most people prefer a enclosed trailer. Flatbed trailers you can pick up for $2,000 to $5,000. Enclosed trailers typically cost between $4,000 and $10,000, depending if you buy a brand new one or not. Enclosed trailers are nice. So you're probably into it about 14, 15, 16,000 up front, and that's just for one sled. Obviously, you're going to have 2 people to go with you, so if you already have a friend that has a sled, then you're good to go. But if you want to go with your wife or son or something like that, then you might end up needing to buy 2 snowmobiles. Once you have that though, there's a couple other small costs that are involved with buying. First off, you got to figure out a place to store the snowmobile and the trailer during the off season, which is about 6 or 7 months. Now, if you've got a garage or a place that you can park the trailer, then that won't be an added cost, but if not, then you might have to figure out a place to store it. The other cost that you'll have is maintenance. Now, typically every year you need a mechanic to go through the sled, just make sure that the bearings are good, the engine's got compression, and the snowmobile is tip-top ready to go. That'll usually cost a few $100 a year. So all said and done, you'll probably find that you'll end up spending between $2,000 and $5,000 per year, depending on how top of the line technology you want. I mean, if you always want the absolute best snowmobile, then you're probably going to have to replace your sled every 2 or 3 years. Now the other option is renting. Now if you rent, you can rent basically a brand new snowmobile for about $300. I'm talking an 800 high performance machine, top of the line, a year or 2, 3 years old at the latest, $300. So if you end up going 10 times or less, let's say you end up going 10 times per year, then your cost is going to be $3,000 at a maximum. And also if you go out for half a day, you could probably even go snowmobiling for a half a day instead of a full day, and you could probably cut that cost in half. So if you're going less than 10 times, it's probably less expensive to rent. The other thing with renting is you don't have to worry about storage in the summertime, in the off season. You also don't have to worry about maintenance. I mean, you just make a phone call, you reserve your sled, you get there, the sled's fueled, and it's ready to rock and roll. And you go take it, go sled, come back, no maintenance for you. It's maintenance free. So that's a huge benefit. Now, if you're really hardcore into snowmobiling and you go more than 10 times or more than 20 times especially, then it might be better for you to buy a snowmobile. The other huge advantage to buying a snowmobile is that you don't have to worry about there not being availability. If you own your sled, you can look up on the mountain and be like, whoa, it snowed today, I'm going to go, and then last minute you can just hook your snowmobile on, cruise up there. If you rent, you need a little bit of foresight, so you have the reservation and things like that. So is it better to rent or to buy? Well, I think in most cases and for most people and for most people's situations, it's usually better to rent because most people don't have the time to go snowmobiling 20 or 30 times in a 4-month snowmobiling season. So for most people, renting is usually the better option, but it really depends on your situation and how hardcore you are into the sport. But whether you rent or buy, I hope to see you on the mountain, and the best time of the year for sure is snowmobiling. Anyways, I hope this video has helped you, and we'll catch you on the next video.